Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime, but kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers.
Love the Browns uniforms. I think today I'm going to try something new. Winston Hageman's going to get his first NFL snaps.
Year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency. You still got to go out and earn it every week.
This will be fielded at the 8. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
And this is going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And they'll be let out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
I read something prepping for this
2018
game
season stats. This ain't 2018. This is like 2035.
He said it a few months ago where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold.
This dude was like 3 years old in 2018.
But that's what good leadership gives you.
Shit, he had 0 passes, attempts, or completions.
QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Quick throw, that's
First career NHL pass and completion, the Henry Gunn.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll drop to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Could be four-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third.
Here we go. What 90?
He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. A look now at the defensive starters for Cleveland. They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
And when you're getting ready to face the #1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 6 carries, 77 yards.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play. And I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams. Because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner.
And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The
So
backup
first
strong
interception of
city.
his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
And here's Marshall. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down he'll go at the 25. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 53 yards, and a touchdown.
And that explosive run right there reminds me that last week ran the ball really well, so they're continuing to do what they did in the previous game, run the ball and run it successfully. Expect that to continue throughout this one.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
First quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. A great return there of 22 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And on the ground they go with a running back. Finding some room at midfield. And finally taken down at the 34. That one 28 yards on the ground.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of it.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
First career touchdown pass for Edaug-Ethanb. Gets it over to Henry Gill.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash.
An interception in his first career drive, his second career drive, his TD pass. Nice.
And that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays. Run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. That's pulled in at the 32. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be
Well, that was just a humiliating one.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he lost the football. And I think the Browns got it. They did. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did we do? But hey, let's take
Well, that was a gift. That should have been overthrown.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Only a yard in the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. And they'll run it here. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. And he is out of bounds here. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's second and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He'll get it up the middle, pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30.
I was trying to do the sack one jump over the defender play there, and I failed. But still, good interception by Mr. Six himself.
As the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws
I
are
jumped
going to be
way
harder
early.
for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Let's go! What? 90!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. As the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Here we go! What? 90! What? 90!
He'll look to throw. That's going to be caught. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. In for the score.
I didn't realize he got in
And
the
the
end zone
Steelers
there.
are going to add on to their lead.
I thought he took or got the ball 1 foot in, 1 foot out. With the ball on the 1.
He said those could be the ones that can finish
Looks to
off
me.
the squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. If second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, and it's the Ravens who have the lead as they play the second quarter. The Ravens seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Another game of interest in the AFC East has us checking in on the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital, see what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. The Giants trying to hold on and claim victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. Oh, what a juke into space. And into the end zone. Touchdown.
90th career
Pittsburgh.
TD for Russ Gentry in year 4 of his career.
With his second touchdown of the game, number 7.
If he can stay healthy, he's going to be one of the best rushers of all time.
And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns, but the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 28-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this across.